With the college football season coming up, I got one mission in today's video, and that is to find out who is the fastest player in college football. Today we're going to be looking at the fastest players in all of college football. I got 7 or 8 guys to highlight, and they're all backed by verified track data. So it's not just guys that like coaches say are fast or look fast on the field. These are guys with verified speed from track data. Without saying much less, let's go get right into our first player and see what we got. First up, we got the fan favorite, probably the most well-known dude on this list. We got Nick Harbor, or Nicholas Harbor, from South Carolina. You can see, all of these percentiles in this video, first off, are based off of percentiles on all Division I athletes at that position. So for example, Nicholas Harbor, these are stats as a receiver. His 6'6" 60 meter is in the 100th percentile of all Division I receivers since 2010. So he is in the 100th percentile for the 60 meter, 100 meter, and 200 meter. You can see 6'6" 60 with that 10-200. This dude flies on the track. He flies on the football field. He's incredible. But the one difference that stands out Nick Harbor from pretty much everyone else on this list is the fact that Nicholas Harbor is 6'5", 242. He is not like a lot of these other guys on this list. It range from like 5'9" to 6 foot, but then a lot of them, they weigh $170 to maybe 205. This dude is 240 pounds, so he is huge. But he is the kicking off, and he's got one of the strongest cases for one of the fastest players and just ginormous size for his speed. It is just not human what he does. Next up, we got maybe the fastest 100 meter on this entire list. We got Jordan Anthony, receiver, formerly at Texas A&M and Kentucky, now at Arkansas. You can see he runs track at Arkansas too, but this dude is fast. He's a college track guy, so you can see that. 6'2", 355 meter in the 100th percentile, and then the 10'1", 400 meter. This dude has speed, 20.35, 200 meter. Jordan Anthony has a good case to be one of the fastest guys. Now, like I said, Nick Harbor was like 6'4", 240, so he's a little bit odd. Jordan Anthony is a 5'10", 160, so you can see the difference in size between these guys. But this video isn't about how big and fast you are. It's just about how fast you are, and Jordan Anthony is fast. Next up, we got the first of 2 Oregon players on this list. We got Rodri Pleasant. He's going into his sophomore season. He is smaller. He's at 5'9", 180, so he's a bit of a smaller guy. But, like I said, this video is just about speed. And this dude, 10'1", 400 meter, same as Jordan Anthony we just saw, to pair along with a 6'3", 455 meter and a 20.4, 200 meter. All in the 100th percentile. Oregon has 2 dudes on this list that are fast. And I'd like to know who's faster. We got to get some reports. We got to talk to Oregon people and see which one of these 2 is faster, because the first one is Rodri Pleasant, but the next one might be even faster. And that person is none other than the true freshman to be, Gatlin Bear. He is a receiver, class of 2024. He coming out 6'1", 194. But like I said, Rodri Pleasant's fast, but so is this man. He got 6'6", 960 meter, which is actually the 99th percentile, but then the 10'1", 500th meter. Just 1/100th of a second slower than Rodri Pleasant and Jordan Anthony. But then the 24'1", 200 meter. This guy was one of the top recruits in the country this last year. He's coming into his true freshman season at Oregon as they move to the Big Ten. And he's a dude that I expect big things with. I don't know if he's going to play a lot early on, but I got to keep your name on as he climbs the ranks at Oregon, because he is fast. Moving quickly on, we're heading to the University of Pittsburgh, where we got Chay Wuko. I believe I pronounced that right. I'm sorry if I didn't. But he's coming in from Pittsburgh. He ran the 40.52 4x1 in high school to pair with a 10'1", 700 meter, 20.53 200 meter. He is fast. Now, you're going to see some relays in this video. And keep in mind, relays are still a very good measure of speed, because there are 4 people in a relay, yes, but all 4 of those people are very important in a relay. And if you want a fast time, all 4 have to be fast. And it's actually probably a better translation to the football field, because you're kind of getting a running start heading in, so you actually get faster times in the 4x1. So yes, 4x1 and relays are counted towards speed. This dude is fast from the University of Pittsburgh, and another dude to keep your eye on rising the ranks at Pitt. If you guys follow college recruiting and high school football, you know who this man is right here. Galani Watkins, committed to LSU, class of 2024 at 5'9", 150. So he's a bit of a smaller guy, but there's a reason he's holding a Chucky doll, because this dude is fast. I don't know why he's anything to do with Chucky, but he is fast. He got a 10'1", 900. You see in parentheses, 10:02. This man ran a 10:02 100 meter, but it was unverified, which means they didn't record wind at the track meet. And if you don't know much about track, I'm not going to get too in the deeps, but there's wind limits. It kind of depends on where you look depending on the limit. But if you're running into a certain amount of wind, it's not verified. It doesn't count because you're getting too aided by the wind. That 10:02 the wind was not recorded at that meet, so we don't know if it was wind aided or not. So it's not a verified metric. So the 10:19 is verified 100 percentile, still super fast. But there's that 10:02 I have to mention because he did run it. We just don't know about the wind. And then 20.39 200 meter. But the one verified thing that we can talk to, and this broke huge news when it happened in high school this last year, he was part of the 4x1 team. I tried to prepare you for 4x1s that ran a 38.92 4x1. Now you're wondering, Jared, why does it just say number one there? Was that number one in Texas? Yeah, it was number one in Texas this last year. Was it number one in Texas of all time? Yeah, it was number one Texas of all time. Was it the number one fastest 4x1 high school men's relay of all time in the U.S.? Yes, it was. Galani Watkins was part of the fastest 4x1 high school men's relay in the U.S. of all time. That's speed if you're telling me something, because you got to be fast to be a part of that, and Galani Watkins is just that, fast. Next up, we got Malachi James, receiver from Syracuse. This man, 6'2", 255 meter, 10'1", 800 meter, 21'13", 200 meter, all up there. I mean, anything 10'2" in high school is crazy. And unless these guys are playing football with that type of speed, 10'1" is just up there within hundredths of seconds with all the other dudes we've mentioned so far. Malachi James, another guy. I expected big things. He's a class of 2024 guy, really young. So expect him to be a name that you hear in a couple years when he starts building out a role at Syracuse. Moving on, we got Drayden Dickman, the wide receiver from Rice. He ran a 40.8 4x100 meter really fast, and then a 10.16 100 meter, up there with the fastest 100 meters in all of college football with a 21.49 200 meter. Another guy with pure speed at Rice. His speed is on the field. He's going to outrun almost anyone on the field. Now let me get to a couple honorable mentions that I got to mention in the video before we close out. All right, the last couple dudes I have to mention when we're talking about speed, we got Marquise Johnson from Missouri. He ran a 10.1 800 meter in high school. Eric Singleton Jr. from Georgia Tech ran a 10.2, just under that. Tank Hawkins from Florida with a 6'6", 960, and also Gavin Sawchuk from Oklahoma. Both of those dudes ran 6'6", 960s, which is crazy fast. And then we got Malcolm Johnson Jr. from Bowling Green with the 6'2", 55. And then with right behind him at a 6'2", 755, we got Nick Tyree from Delaware. Couple of dudes that I didn't put in the full graphs, but a couple guys you have to mention because these guys are certified speed demons on the football field. Anyways, I put the data out there for you guys. Those are the metrics. Those are the speed, the track numbers. All those were high school track speeds. You guys let me know in the comments who you think the fastest player in college football is. They're all crazy fast. They all have a competition. We got to get up to Oregon and ask those guys at practice who is faster, because Rodri Pleasant and Gatlin Bear on the same team is not really fair to pair with Tez Johnson, who himself is crazy fast already on that team. They got speed at Oregon, but nonetheless, let me know what you guys think. I think the one guy that stands out for me on this entire list is Galani Watkins from LSU. I mean, that 4x100 meters to set a U.S. record for high school 4x1 is just crazy. Anyways, let me know what stood out to you guys. And any guys who, these are all track metrics, any other guys who you say, hey, these guys are super fast. They might not have the track, but let me know just some other players that you think should be mentioned in this conversation in the comments. Make sure you subscribe if you enjoy the content, like the video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you for the next one.